Welcome to this channel, which we have called Tourism and Hospitality in the 21st Century. And the choice of the name or the brand name is upon the book we are writing, because there is the first edition of the book that we are writing, which is titled Tourism and Hospitality in the 21st Century. This channel is an educative channel created purposively for students who are studying tourism and hospitality, both at secondary and university level, lecturers who are teaching tourism and hospitality, both at secondary and university level, investors who have invested their capital in tourism and hospitality, and any other person who wishes to have knowledge and skills or competencies in the tourism and hospitality industry. This channel will serve you well. We shall be running 2 programs per week, Monday and Fridays, and we shall be discussing major topics that we deem that are core, that our target audience needs to understand and have knowledge and skills on these topics of discussion. But we are also creating in a proposal whereby our target audience or our subscribers or our viewers may propose to this channel, and a team of experts that will be discussing different topics on this channel, areas that they want to understand. For example, you may write in the comment section, please, we want to understand something about maybe tourism products, about maybe investing. How can we invest in the tourism or hospitality sector? All this we shall do, as long as you write and then you wish there's something you want to know. We just take it kindly and then we do more research, and then we come and we shed more light and knowledge on it. My name is I'm Dr. Emmy Tushabe. I'm a senior lecturer at different universities, offering courses in tourism and hospitality, and I'm currently the head of tourism and hospitality department at the University of Tourism, Technology and Business Studies. That with standing, I also offer courses at different universities in Rwanda of hospitality and tourism, East African University being one of them. I also offer different developmental courses at different universities, master's level. For example, development courses at Yerika as a university for my master's students in development studies. I've studied tourism at bachelor's and master's level, and have a PhD in the same area of tourism and development studies. And therefore, we saw that maybe what can we offer to this nation? What can we offer to the world at large? There are many channels that are running different programs. We are not against them, but we say, let's create an educative channel where we can also impart skills, knowledge, and the competencies and the attitudes especially needed in the area of tourism and hospitality. And there we go. So today, our topic of discussion is tourism redefined. Tourism redefined. We shall discuss the concept of tourism, and in this case, there are many authors or experts that have defined the concept of tourism. I agree with them. I'm not against their definitions, but a lot has changed. For example, if I quote the definitions of tourism by the United Nations World Tourism Organization, 1994 and 2014, where they define tourism as the movement of people from their areas of residence to another destination for purposes of leisure, business, but not exceeding 1 year. If you look at such a definition, and then you again look at current the tourism trend, we saw that we should not impose on ourselves to these definitions. There are 2 key words that we deem necessary, that when we are defining tourism, that we should capture. Now, what is the purpose and the end destination? If you look at the term, maybe the terminology of tourism, there are two key words that we are interested in finding out. This person who is traveling as a tourist or is doing tourism must have. One is, what is the purpose? Why is he or she traveling? What is the purpose? Two, what is his end destination? Most books will just define tourism as the movement of people from one area to another for different purposes. Business, leisure. But should we define tourism as just a movement of people from one area? What if I travel? What if I travel from my area of residence or country of residence and I just go to visit a friend, for example? I go to visit a girlfriend. I go to a shopping mall. Have I done tourism? Do I deserve to be called a tourist? That's why we need to come and then understand the real concept of tourism in the 21st century. And we are redefining tourism in this case, looking at two key words: what is the purpose and what is the end destination. And therefore we are redefining tourism as the movement of people, and in this case the people, put it in the brackets, these are tourists traveling from one area or their home of residence or area of residence. It might be within a country if it is domestic, or it might be from another country if it is inbound or outbound, but they are traveling with a purpose of visiting a tourism destination. So their end point is that they are going to a tourism destination. We shall see. Going there to do what? So the main purpose of movement is that you leave your home, you leave your country, you leave your area of residence or your geographical location, but the purpose is you are traveling to a tourism destination. I will define a tourism destination. So you are traveling to a tourism destination, and the aim is, at this tourism destination, what are you going to do? Probably consumption comes in, because tourism now being number one export of most countries in Africa and East Africa in particular, there is an element of consumption. Money comes in. Money comes in. You are not just traveling to visit someone and then you come back. You come and visit me at my home. You have left your home, that's your area of residence. You come to me. For example, I offer you a cup of tea. You take it. Have you done tourism? Are you a tourist? In my own understanding, no. So that movement is, there is a purpose. I'm traveling here, I'm going to a tourism destination. A tourism destination may be at a country level, at a province level, at a district level, at a sector level. As long as there are attractions that you have gone to visit and you are going to spend your money within this destination. So we need to redefine tourism now. And our audience have to understand this. So it's not only the movement of people from one area to another. No. What is the purpose of your movement? And why are you going to a tourism destination? What are you going to visit? What are you going to look at? What are you going to consume? How much money are you going to spend in? So all those factors, we bring them in, and then we put them in the definition of tourism. So we define tourism as the movement of people. These are tourists, the people I'm referring in here, to a tourism destination to visit different tourism attractions that that particular destination has. And therefore you end up spending on these. Either you are buying tourism products, either you are buying tourism services, or you are buying any other support service that you need, so that maybe you can do your tour or you can do your trip at pleasure or at comfort. And therefore we need to understand this very well, because there is a misconception. People confuse these words. Tourism is just a movement of people from one place to another. No. I always tell my students when I'm teaching that there must be movement from one area to another. Why are you traveling? Where are you going? And what have you going to do? How much money are you going to spend in? So that's how we should redefine tourism. So from today, we need to understand that tourism is the movement with a purpose. You are going to a tourism destination. What are you going to do there? And therefore, the person who is traveling now in this case, this is a person we refer to as a tourist. Because not every person who travels or who makes a movement can be termed as a tourist. No. I make a movement from my place to go and work. Am I a tourist? No. Students move from home to go and study. Parents move from home to go and open their shopping malls, to go and do their own other businesses. So that movement is not tourism. The movement of tourism is to a tourism destination. Do what you are supposed to do and then go back to the point where you started. And that's why we say tourism is a cycle. It is circular. Because a person is traveling from point A. This point A is a place of origin. We can term it as a home of residence, where you stay. You travel to point B, which we refer to as a tourism destination. And again, when you reach at the tourism destination, whether you are an excursionist, or whether you are spending 6 months, depending on your visa, you must travel back from this point B, you go back to point A. Because why do we put regulation in here? If you travel from your home of residence, you go to point B, for example, and you remain in here, there is a problem in here. You are masquerading to be a tourist, you travel, you go to a tourism destination, but if your journey stops for me here, there is a question mark. There are problems that you might cross here at a point of destination. For example, there are negative effects. You are going to increase the number of the population of this place called a tourism destination. You are going to fight for social services with these people. You are going to compete with them for their social services. You are going to compete with them maybe in terms of jobs. And that's why some countries are very keen not offering tourism visa, because they know most people will just masquerade as tourists to travel to a tourism destination and they might not come back. This is one of the problems. Some people ask, why don't we get a visa? No. Countries have realized, especially these developed tourism destinations, that especially people, tourists from developing countries, they masquerade as tourists, they go there, but do they come back? No. But a real tourist will move from point A to a tourism destination, and he must return to his point of origin, making tourism to be a cycle or circular. And that's what we encourage. So people should move and come again. That's how we define tourism. It becomes commercial. So it is a movement of people. You go there and then you come back. But people always ask then, this tourist in this case is a customer. That's why we should not define that every person who is traveling for tourism. No, the person who is leaving this point A, he is a customer, because he will travel to a tourism destination and then he's going to buy. He's going to spend money to this tourism destination. And we said before in our introduction, he's going to spend because this tourism destination, we need also to understand a tourism destination as a place, any geographical place of interest to a tourist or a person who is traveling. So it is any place of interest. Why is it of interest? Because it offers a variety or a diversity of tourism attractions. There are national parks, for example. There is blue tourism, that is water tourism. There are forest reserves. There are hot springs. There are hills. There are cultural centers. There are heritage centers. All of these make it a tourism destination. And therefore, this is why it is of interest to this tourist. So he wants to move and go and discover. But we should understand that this tourism destination and all these attractions that are embedded in these tourism destinations, they are not, and I repeat, they are not for free. And we should understand it. Tourism is not for free. If you want to consume or experience anything in tourism and hospitality, there is a fee, there is a price. That's why our next chapter will be about a tourism product. One of the components of a tourism product is price. The tourism products and services are not for free. If you want to consume them or experience them, there's an amount of money that you must pay. And this amount of money ranges in different sections. You need money for transport. How are you going to leave your point A to go to a tourism destination? Transport comes in. So there is a transportation fee. If you have your own car, there is fuel. There is a driver. There is maintenance. So transportation fee comes in. 2, when you reach at a tourism destination, what are you going to do? You need to buy tourism products. Maybe it is a national park, like Akagera National Park or Queen Elizabeth National Park in Uganda, and you are going to do a game safari. You must buy that product of a game safari and do that activity of looking at animals. You might need the services of a tour guide. You have come in here, but you want to learn, you don't know. So there must be a guide that you are going to pay, who is going to explain to you about these animals in the park, about vegetation in the park, about the botany or zoology in the park. Those are services of a tour guide. So that's another cost. When you reach at this destination, you need food and beverages now. Hospitality is coming in. There are restaurants, there are hotels. You need food, you need what to drink. You also spend on drinks and food. But at the end of it, if you are not a one-day tourist or an excursionist, what we call it in the technical terms of tourism, then you might need to sleep. Say 1 day, a 2-day tour, 1 week. You are going to sleep here at a destination, and therefore bed and breakfast comes in. You need to sleep because you will not sleep in the park. So all these things come in. So money comes in. So this tourist must have money. That is a must. You must have money, because we are explaining where you are going to spend this money. On transport, on attractions, on tourism services, and any other support service that you need. Destinations have support services like shopping malls. They have internet. They have swimming pools. They have saunas. They have gyms. Hair salons for women who want to work on their hair, and men. So these are support services. That's why we say tourism is expensive. And this fact accounts why domestic tourism in Africa and East Africa is still very, very, very low. That's why our market in tourism and hospitality industry is inbound. It is foreign based. We depend on foreigners because the presumption is that they have money. They save, they plan for this. It is expensive, it is not easy. I want to give you like one of the examples of expensive attractions. Look at maybe the gorillas, the mountain gorillas that are shared by 3 countries only in the world. Only in the world. 3, and in Africa only 3. And that is Uganda, that is Rwanda, and that is DRC. If prices have not changed, if you go, for example, to DRC, $300 US. Trekking gorillas, that's too much money. $600 US, for example. So you look at the prices, it is not a piece of cake that we just cut. You need to plan and save this money. I'm not saying these prices are high, because some parks charge prices for conservation purposes to avoid mass tourism. Because the moment you lower prices, there are also negative effects. You have too many tourists coming in, what we call mass tourism, which has negative effects on tourism destinations, and therefore conservation and sustainability might be a problem in the long run. So all these things have to be checked up. So today we wanted to define tourism and to introduce this channel to our target audience, and we shall be discussing a lot of topics in tourism and hospitality. But let's go understanding that tourism simply means the movement of people, in the brackets, tourists, who are moving from their home or area of residence, and they are visiting a tourism destination. And we have said a tourism destination is that place or geographical area of interest. And it must be rich in, 1, tourism attractions must be there, whether natural, whether artificial, whether social culture, whether symbiotic attractions, they must be there. Tourism destinations should have also infrastructures, especially transport and accommodation infrastructures. Transport is the movement, and accommodation for bed and breakfast and food and beverages for these clients. And they must also have other infrastructures like banks, insurance, and any other support services. And also the people must be friendly, because culture plays a very big role. People play a very big role. Their hospitality, the way they welcome tourists to their destinations. So all in all, I want to encourage you members to do subscribe to this channel. It is indeed a very good channel, an educative channel. We shall be discussing a lot of topics in tourism, a lot of topics in experts. We shall be inviting different professors, doctors, chefs in cuisine, experts in the hotel and industry, and you'll be able to learn a lot. Please do subscribe, and let's all go knowing that from today we should understand tourism as the movement with a purpose and destination, that is tourism destination, and you are going to spend, because tourism is regarded as one source of income that governments are making a lot of money, and that's why it is #1 export of Rwanda. I want to thank you, and I want to encourage you to subscribe and remind our audience that every Monday, every Friday, we shall be having different topics to discuss. And if there's something you don't understand from the tourism industry, please go to our comment section, write to us. You need to understand ABCD. Our team of experts will be available to go and do research and come and discuss and give you what you want. I want to thank you and wish you a good evening. Thank you very much.